Moving on now, Zohran Mamdani has promised a new era for New York City after being sworn in, outlining his vision for change as he begins his term as the mayor. While thousands of people thronged City Hall for the ceremony, braving freezing temperatures, New York's first Muslim mayor vowed to pursue an aggressive agenda aimed at making the largest city of US more affordable for working people, emphasizing universal childcare, affordable rents and free bus service. Now, he said that his administration will be accountable to all New Yorkers, not wealthy donors, as he pledged to govern according to democratic socialist principles.
New Yorkers. And it will be New Yorkers who reform a long broken property tax system. New Yorkers who will create a new Department of Community Safety that will tackle the mental health crisis and let the police focus on the job they signed up to do. New Yorkers who will take on the bad landlords who mistreat their tenants and free small business owners from the shackles of bloated bureaucracy. And I am proud to be one of those New Yorkers.
He further stated that the nation will be watching closely to see whether his left-leaning approach to governing can succeed in addressing the challenges facing Americans, adding that they will set an example to the world.
For much of our history, I cannot blame anyone who has come to question the role of government, whose faith in democracy has been eroded by decades of apathy. We will restore that trust by walking a different path, one where government is no longer solely the final recourse for those struggling, one where excellence is no longer the exception.
Born in Uganda to a family of Indian origin, the 34-year-old democratic socialist moved to New York at the age of 7. He campaigned heavily on cost of living issues and was sharply critical of President Donald Trump, rising rapidly from relative anonymity just a year ago. Now, during the mayoral race, Trump threatened to withhold federal funding from the city if Mamdani won and suggested deploying National Guard troops. However, the president later surprised both supporters and critics by inviting Mamdani to the White House for what became a cordial meeting in November last year. For more on this, our correspondent Susan Tehrani has sent us this report from New York. Take a look.
Today, January 1st, marks the inauguration of New York City's new mayor, Zohran Mamdani, with a public celebration outside, followed by a formal ceremony just blocks away at City Hall. Supporters gathered to mark what Mamdani is calling a new chapter for the city, built around affordability, housing, and economic fairness. Mamdani's agenda includes freezing rents, expanding public housing, and raising taxes on the wealthy to fund social services. But delivering on those promises will depend heavy on legislative support. He will need the cooperation of the city council as well as state lawmakers in Albany to move much of his platform forward. Critics argue his plans are too costly and too far left for a city facing budget pressures and public safety concerns. Supporters say his election reflects deep frustration with the status quo. As Mamdani now takes office, the focus shifts from celebrations to governing and whether campaign promises can survive the realities of City Hall. Susan Tehrani reporting from New York for WION World is One.